G'day listeners, welcome to Bar Karate, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer, and it's that time of the week where you get to hang out with some cool sailors, but of course, I have to share the mic with my two idiot mates. So first off, let's bring in Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
BP.
G'day, Cuzzy bro. Coming at you live and loud.
Oh, of course, you're in New
end of
Zealand.
The long white cloud here in Auckland, and let me tell you, it is a long white cloud.
Oh, always.
Yeah, she's raining hard, but anyway, a bit of sun earlier, but that's all right. I think we've got some sun coming.
Yeah, well, we got plenty over here, so I'll send you some, mate. Let's
Thanks.
bring in the other bloke,
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Yeah, you should get some sun in about November. I
Yeah,
reckon you should be right.
yeah,
Mate, looking forward to hearing what you're doing over there with the X2, getting her in the piss. Is that the plan?
absolutely smashing
What's-
it. Yeah,
What's the status? Is she in the water?
Tuesday in the water.
Good.
Cuzzy
got
Bro's
heaps on.
going the X2. Love it.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing how she goes on the Hooraki golf.
Get out there and
Yeah.
how rocky golf,
Yeah.
Mm,
I
banging
reckon
around
she'll-
with those foiling shitters.
I was just going to say, will she be able to pass one of those foiling shitters?
No,
No
not allowed to.
no
They've
question.
done their days
Okay.
in the big boat.
Yeah, right.
So,
Oh, well, the 40. The 40's
yeah, the 40 though. Yeah.
No, we'll be out
And
there.
then
We'll
going,
be out there.
shit, I wish I designed it with foils.
No, we're happy with where we are, but it's so cool. The vibe here is so cool. I love it. You know, it's so exciting being down in Auckland.
Oh,
It's a
we
good
could do a
nation.
whole podcast just on that.
Oh, couldn't you?
Down in the viaduct. Holy shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't. We'll call that an X-rated one.
We'd do it, but we just can't afford the beer prices.
Well, exactly.
oh, don't start me. Righto, come on.
Cool.
All right, bring in our guest.
We shall.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm watching it right now. Cool.
Okay, all right. Well, we love the Dutch. It's one thing we love here on Bar Karate. We're
too.
big fans of the Dutch. And we love the Finn. So we thought, why not? Let's just combine somebody that's got both those attributes. So we've reached out and we've got a man who went to the Olympics for the Finn in 2020 and finished fourth. He won a world champs in the laser 2014. He's gone close on the Finn as well, a second and a third at the world champs, multiple champion, very famous sailor, and very happy to have him on the show, Mr. Nicholas Heiner. Welcome to Bar Karate, buddy.
G'day, guys. Great to be on.
Welcome
Good.
aboard, Nick. Prior to the show, just for the listeners, BP held up his Heineken, just to showing his love for the Dutch, of course.
Commitment to the cause, the knight's cause.
As Jordan said, yeah, we love. We've had quite a few Dutch sailors on, but I've got to say, Nick, your attributes are up there, my friend. You've done well.
Yeah, no, it's. After two girls, you need a guy, eh? It's
right.
two Dutch girls.
Yeah, got to keep this equality thing in check.
In check. That's right.
You need to make some girls for it.
But we are genuine. We've spent a lot of time in the Netherlands, and it is just a great bunch of people. You're a good race of human beings. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you blokes. So
Normal size as well too.
yeah,
Jay.
normal size. Yeah, that's it.
You actually might be a bit short for a Dutchman, Nick.
Yeah, you're
You're
kind
only
of short.
Well,
6'1", right?
Yeah, 6'1". Come on, man. I'm not American. What is
What's that?
even?
186.
I don't know what 6'1" surfboard, but yeah, I would say a little nice and average.
Nice
Yeah.
and average.
Nice and
Just
Good
enough to
answer.
keep your mouth above the water, just in case. Yeah.
Mate.
Only just. Depends if you're walking around in Lelystad or in Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's right. But speaking of water, mate, obviously the Heiner name, you kind of had no choice, right?
Yeah.
To jump into yachting, and especially where you lived, also.
Yeah, I guess you're born and raised in a day, and you love it or you hate it in the end. But turned out I loved sailing, so kept going in it. Yeah.
Was it kind of one of those things like you got straight into it, or it took a little bit? You liked it, you hated it, you ended up obviously loving it. But was it a bit of a hit and miss, or just straight into it natural?
No, it's pretty. I mean, yeah, I've been kind of ever since I was born. I guess I've been involved in, or at least been in the sailing scene throughout my dad, and traveled the world to go and visit him while he was doing campaigns like Volvo's or Olympic campaigns. And so yeah, from a very young age, of course, been kind of in the sailing scene. And whenever I had the chance, I was always on the back of the boat or in the coach boat. So in a way, I always learned and just seen how the guys did it from an early age on. And eventually, I think when I was 6, I got my first Optimist, and I was with like where we lived in Enkhuizen. You probably know the place.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a little, 50-meter wide canal. And after school, I'll just jump in the boat and just do like hot laps, just reaching around.
Yeah.
And then realized I enjoyed it and wanted to pursue something in it. So yeah,
it's a situation where you've come from a pretty solid pedigree. What's your earliest memory? Like, we've all got these earliest memories in life, but what's your earliest memory of a boat, of the water, of something that sticks out? Like, you could be 3 years old.
I think, two that kind of popped to mind. I'm not sure time frame wise, but one is that back in the days, the Maxi 80s, I think it was.
Oh, the Grand Mistrals, yeah.
Yeah, and that I remember doing a delivery they were doing a delivery, and I was on the boat and waking up like in the middle of the night and poking my head out of the cockpit and just being pitch black and seeing all the lights on the shore. But that's one of the bit more offshore memories, I guess. And the other one was with with the Mum 36s they had back in the days, that the Bruno, or the Synergy, that Dutch boat. And they were training out of Scheveningen, where I live now. And I was in the coach boat together with Bart-Jan Wilton. And somehow we ended up both in the water, just backflipped off the coach boat. And it was freezing cold, Holland. I think it was probably early March. So
probably wasn't the boat that you remember. It was probably the cold water.
Yeah, that part. I do remember the hot chocolate as well, though, afterwards. So
there you go. You earned it.
Yeah. What about as an extension of that question, the first, you're hanging out with pro sailors as a kid. What's the first sort of the most sailing tip that you remember or you still use today? Is there anything that sort of you just went, oh, wow, what was the first big realization you had?
Probably run harder than the grinders. That's scary on the football field.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine, like, you would, growing up around, the likes of, people like Tommaso Chieffi and all the guys that did the Volvo, all those sorts of dudes, pretty influential. Do you run into a lot of those guys now?
No, actually, it's quite funny. First time really, I did a bit more the big boat sailing was last year on the Volvo 65 in Mirpuri, and Willie Attendale was there as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was like, I recognize or remember you. And it's like, fuck yeah. It's like, let's back to the days of, the ocean race days. And
Acid days and Brunel.
The young guys
exactly. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Very cool. So what happens? You're 6, you're doing hot laps in the Opti. What's the next? Is there a yacht club in Enkhuizen? Or do you have to venture across the dike to Lelystad for a bit of yacht racing?
God, no. You don't
I knew that.
Just start from literally the canal in front of the house to the I guess where all the moored boats are in our harbor, just on the other side of town. Just learning how to sail, and they call it the com, like the little area inside the harbor, and started building spinnakers from Optimist because the Optimist was too slow. So, so I started building spinnakers and Genicers because that's what all the big boats had as well. And then eventually had a few lessons and I was allowed to go into the IJsselmeer. And then I guess progressed through there and actually started racing quite late. I think only when I was 11 or 12. But it was, especially in the early days, was always out in OP and just trying to have some fun and make the boat go faster, I guess.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. That whole element of just having fun. Your parents have done the right thing there. Just let you muck around for the first 5 or 6 years, rather than trying to force you into racing. So good on you. Unless you ask them for it, I guess. But And did you ever get to a stage where you just went, oh, I'm actually kind of doing this well? When was that stage when you sort of went, oh, hang on, I'm not too bad at this?
Well, definitely not as a youth. I think I came second to last in the. I think on the last day we got off the last place, but we did. I did for 20 ISF Worlds in Poland, the
Yep.
Youth World. Sorry.
Yep.
I must say we were very unprepared. We only did like 3 months in the boat before that, and still half an event. But somehow we managed to qualify, and off we went to Poland. And yeah, came second to last. So that's a great start to international.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess, well, especially in the early days, I did quite a lot of different boats and even also some big boat sailing. And so I didn't really put the hours into one boat. And it was only kind of after 2008, I would like to say, that I jumped into the laser standard and start putting some serious hours into just one boat. And then that's when the results start to kick in. So yeah.
Well, you obviously won the 2014 Laser Worlds. Huge result.
It's a while ago,
I mean, yeah, but to have that in your arsenal,
We were all good that long ago, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is that you did all that and you've won the Worlds. How was that? I mean, that must have been a rush. I mean, you've gone out there and there you go, you've pulled it off.
Yeah, it's of course pretty stoked. Was a bit of out of the blue, to be honest. Like we're getting close to podiums and stuff just occasionally, but definitely wasn't the favorite for that World. We were fast. We were very fast. We worked a lot with Dan Slater in the build up to that out of New Zealand, and we could join in with the Dutch. Had a bit of a training squad going together with the Kiwis, or over the winter time, or the Kiwi summer. We were down in New Zealand and training with those boys, and that made us proper fast and race ready for the season. And then had a bit of a last minute change in the coaching side, and that just fell into place, and just had a great event. And somehow I always do quite well in Spain. I don't know what it is, but always in Palma and any events in Spain, summer comes quite natural. So now it's a cool place to race as well. A lot going on with tides and different winds, and really all-round event, and it was quite fun. So it was just a bit of a luck, but it was definitely also a bit in the making. So yeah, it was cool.
It's interesting because much as we sort of muck around and bag the laser on this show, the number of superstars in that fleet is just insane, and it just never stops. And to win that World, you beat Tommy Burton, who went on to win an Olympic gold. But across that fleet, there's just it must be so difficult to even get around the top mark first at some stage. Like it's just the standard's insane.
Yeah, standard's insane, and you kind of see it still. Like the guys I was racing against, they're still up there, and it's like
this is huge.
Yeah, and even the Germans and Aussies, they're all still up there, and it's basically the same guys. So hard for the new guys to kind of kick the old guard off. It's if they don't change class or stop sailing, like it's I would say out of the top 10, it's still the 7-8 guys I was racing against back then. So it's it just shows so much experience and such a level in the fleet. It's pretty amazing.
Is it just that there's only 7 or 8 people in the world that can suffer?
Or who want to do 3 knots up
all at the one time?
Well, I must say there was one Palma event we did, and then we quite often stayed afterwards to do a cycle camp.
Oh yeah.
And somehow it turned out that the top 4 on top of the hill on the bike were also the top 4 at the Palma event. But like literally one was 1, number 2 was 2nd on top of the hill, so on. So there's something in it for sure.
Bloody Glenn Burke's got a lot to answer for with all these laser sailors riding their bikes everywhere. I tell you, like he started it, I reckon. You're a Dutchie. You must fly up the hill. Maybe that's the solution, because you would have grown up on
fly on the flat.
On the flat, yeah, I know, of course, on the flat.
Not many hills
Yeah, you
Over
fly
there.
on a bike. I'll rephrase it. You're fast on a bike, you Dutchies. You
No.
don't get a choice, do you? Otherwise, you can't
Nah.
catch the girls.
Yeah, well, we get the girls on the back of the bike. That's why I got
That's
a little
right.
rack on the
Exactly, a
back.
little
Take 'em off
side
the
saddle.
front.
Those little black ones, the black bikes, the sort of the
Yeah, the
whatever.
ones that you can go
You know
and
the ones.
they're just free.
Yeah,
right?
the ones you just pick up around the place.
You just jump on them.
Yeah, one of those.
Oh,
So
no, genuinely, the Dutch system is by far the best because well, it's not meant to sound sexist in any way because traditionally you'll see the guys riding the bike and the girls their partners do sit on the back. And you've got a good partner when she jumps off at the lights and gives you the running push and then jumps back on. That's when you've got a good partner.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, you don't want to be exerting energy. Okay, so you won the Worlds in 2014, and then you're heading to the Finn. When did that all start? How'd that come about?
It was kind of I lost Olympic trials to Rutger Schadeberg out of Dutchy, of course. And that was in 2015. Stayed for like another half year trying to help him out towards Olympics in 2016. And then I was like, okay, what's next? What do I want to do? And I always knew I wanted to do the ocean race and win Olympic gold. And I was like, I know how to race, like that in the laser. It's all, you make the boat go fast, but it's pretty simple stuff. You buy it off the shelf, and the racing side, like you said, it's awesome. Like so close racing, and it's hard racing and intense. And so that side was covered. But I was like, okay, I need a bit more. If I want to progress in Olympics or in sailing, I need a bit more of the technical knowledge as well. And big boat sailing, you need strong, fit guys. So I was like, well, that sounds like the Finn. And I chose to go to the Finn, and just to have a new challenge, learn new skills, and
eat a shitload of food. Eat a shitload of food.
Yeah, a lot of gym and a shitload of food.
Yeah. First day of the transition from laser to Finn. What's up? Oh, breakfast.
Well, I must
start
say
eating.
the first few weeks was pretty heinous. Like the amount of food you like as a laser sailor, like not eating that much, or you're fine eating like
You're
a normal
lean
human
as.
being, I guess. And then if you need to put on 14 kgs of weight, then 6 meals a day. It's not fun in the first few weeks. You need definitely.
What did you get to? What was your maximum weight?
I got up to 9. I did see 100 at one stage on the scales. I must say it was a late afternoon with a lot of steak, but in general I was 90. I would say racing maximum of 97 kgs, but normally 96.
It's a lot, isn't it? 10 kilos over your average weight. It's a lot of weight.
Oh,
Yeah,
not really,
it
mate.
was-
Yeah, pretty easy.
Been there, done that. Yeah, that's
Hey,
different sort of weight though, Bicey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Copy.
Yeah. Not in the belly. Don't worry, we're all
functional
working.
weight.
When you jumped on, we got a lot of Finn sailors listening onto this show. When you jumped on the Finn the first time, right? You've been sailing lasers, and then you went sailing for the Finn the first time. What was the difference? What did you notice?
Wow. I mean, actually kind of, because my dad had a Finn back in the days, and so it was in the harbour in Enkhuizen. So quite often when I didn't feel like going to the gym in the laser, I just jumped in the Finn.
Yep.
For a good old workout. And I guess that's like literally everything is heavy in the boat. Like just even trying to carry it up the ramp or putting it on top of the car, like it's it's a workout. It's the boat is heavy, it's powerful, it's but bloody awesome to sail. So it's just the sheer loads and what you need to hold, and the downwind free pumping. It's pretty brutal. It's awesome.
Yeah. What about let's do a little bit of technical stuff on the Finn. So, like we got a lot of people interested in, as I said. So once you jumped into it and you thought, right, here we go, did you do a lot of research on which hull you wanted, which mast you wanted, what sails, or did that change much? So what was the process?
Well, from the very start, I just got two things. Like in a way, by that stage, the Volti Fantastica was already out, and it was clearly that basically everybody, you needed that boat, that hull. So that was the easy one. And then you got two mast builders, one in Holland, Hitmast, They've always been up there, and the other one is Wilkenmast, and same with the North Seal. So in a way, you just get the basic kit, and of course, the original one was to go with HIT, being a Dutch brand and doing well, and you got the resources there. But the big one is actually we started working with Rafa Trujillo, Spanish fin sailor, offshore sailor, and it's just to get as much fin knowledge in. And so he was great for that first year, and I would have liked to continue working with him, but he went back to Aussie, or he went down to Aussie. But yeah, so it's just getting the right people in to really fast track that side, the technical knowledge, and just the specifics of fin sailing, and that's that was a great help.
Yeah, Rafa's a great guy. Like, it's just there's a lot of good guys in the fin world. Hey, they're a good bunch of human beings. So how many masts did you go through?
I would say the first one, I would say 12, I guess.
12
within
masts.
5 years in the end.
Far out.
Yeah, but that's also because we changed brands halfway, so it's a bit, it was a bit more. And we did a lot of development with Hitmast, so it was kind of just helping them out or like trying to develop that mast. But it's definitely a lot of gear went through it. So.
Yep, I'm intrigued, because any cat rig, it's like the laser. I'm sure when you were sailing lasers, you were trying different mast sections and just looking for the right sort of responsiveness. But with the fin, obviously, you can build them to how you want, and you can build them with the materials you want. So even your resin system, or what sort of fibers you're using will change everything. So it's
layups, everything.
How you wrap it, the whole thing.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then you get your little hacksaw out and cut down your mast track and create flexibility and all that sort of crap. So,
well, the one scary one was my dad. In the last year, he started grinding down one of my masts. I was like, the scariest thing I saw. I was like,
this is your below 10 knot rig.
Put the grinder down, Roy. Put it down.
I was like, oh God, here we go. At least he didn't get his hammer out, so that's a big gain.
Yeah.
But makes them pretty bendy with a hammer.
Yeah.
The other thing, I guess, sailing changed probably just as you were maturing into it, in that they started to allow the pumping, and in the fin, as you said, pumping on a fin. Yeah, for non-sailors, trying to explain that pumping a fin is kind of like getting a small car and just giving it a quick tug as you try and pull it up the street. It's not lightweight. You've got to be pretty strong.
Yeah, no, I must say I love it. I love that part of the fin sailing, the downwinds, and being able to just free pump and do whatever you want with the boat. Just like be one way super subtle and a lot of feel, and the other times like just bloody rock and roll. Just jump
grind it.
and,
yeah,
just grind it down the waves. It's I must say I've got some bloody good fun memories of the downwind. It's now everything going foiling, and you just want to stay away of the waves, of course, and not get wet, but it takes away a big dimension of sailing, I think. And I sail the Moth, I love it. It's a great feeling, but man, the downwinds in the fin or even the laser, like it's pretty awesome if you get in sync with it all, and you're going downwind with max heart rate, but then the boat still feels so light, and it's pretty awesome feeling. Really, actually miss it.
I wonder, Nick, if you ever got into the gym. One day you walk into the gym and there's bodybuilders have got, on the seated pull machine, have got the full stack, and they're just straining to get 2 or 3, and you sit down with one arm and just do the full stack. Like that's,
mate, day in, day out.
Every day in, day out. Exactly right. It's exactly right.
That you walk into the gym and now they have grinding machines. They actually have a fin pumping station.
Yeah.
Set up exactly the same.
Love it.
Better late than never, eh?
So what do you think about you sort of got your one shot and then Finn's gone. You reckon it'll come back?
Was it good? I was going to go there.
Nah, it's never going to come back, unfortunately. But it's like the star class. It's in a way it doesn't need the Olympics. In in Holland, we've got now 200 registered fin sailors over 4 clubs. So that's so awesome. So the fin will live on, and of course
Become legendary.
The top levels come down, but and those guys might come back one day. I said as well, if I'm a master, I'll jump back in the boat. You know, it's an awesome boat to sail, and it doesn't need the Olympics to keep going. It's
no, I think you're right. We're seeing that with with the people, the turnouts to the big events. You know.
Yeah. So it's nah.
Well, you did mention you're sailing the Moth, mate. There's a it could be the Moth turns up in the Olympics. Like, is that still the hope, or you're focused offshore now, or coaching?
No, for me the Moth is just like it's another thing to learn, and you see so much sailing is now foiling, and like the AC40s and GC32s and all that kind of stuff. Like it's this whole new dimension in sailing, and if you just need to keep up to date and have those skills. And
Wow.
So for me, it's just, learning something new again and having a bit of sailing for myself, but it's also where the sailing world is. A part of the sailing world is going. So if you want to be active in that kind of scene,
the Dutchies are really good at supporting sailing teams. So let's throw it out there. I'm sure you've never thought of this, a Dutch Sail GP team.
Oh, if only, hey? That's a bloody good idea. So look into that.
With an event on the Islamere.
Yeah.
Mate, it'll be millions of people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's deep enough, mate.
Yeah.
Or fall higher.
Maybe
Just
not.
don't come off the foils, dude.
Don't come off the floor. Easy as that.
Yeah. Simple.
Just we'll just dredge a parking spot.
Yeah.
So,
we need a bit more practice in that part then, but yeah, it'll be good.
So obviously, it's kind of youth, Olympic classes, all those sorts of things, and a bit of offshore, dabbling into the offshore side. Is that where you see yourself now for the next little bit, offshore or the Sail GP team?
No, we were trying to, I always had basically 2 goals, and it was like, I guess that's also where I've been kind of growing up in, I guess. But the Olympic side, and that's for me, it's over now. Had my shot in Tokyo, and it's time to move on. And I always want to do the ocean race, and but in all honesty, I think where the race is at now, and for me, it lost a bit of its charm. Like it's and I think as an athlete, you want to race against the best guys and in the coolest circuits, and for me, that's a Sail GP now. I think it's at least where you also keep racing. The Cup is awesome, but you race once in 4 years for a month, and that's it.
Yep.
And I think what the Sail GP is trying to set up now, it's an awesome product and it's awesome racing, and it's pretty frustrating to not see a Dutch team in there. And but we'll be trying to get some change in that.
Oh, mate, I tell you, you know how much I'd love to see a Dutch team in there, because I'm sick of red and white colours and blue and red and white. Like the Aussies have got, and the Kiwis, they've got their black. We've got green and gold. A bit of orange in the fleet would just, it would go where
as opposed to the Dutch flag.
Yeah, I know it's red and white. I know, I get that. But at least they're like us. Our flag's red, blue and white as well. But at least we've just, the Aussies have split away. We'll go.
Is that hence, well, the listeners can't see this, but hence the orange hat you've got on today? Yeah. No, I like what you've done.
It's already supporting it, eh? Too good.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We love it.
Oh, there would be no bigger supporter than the Dutch fan base.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
In the whole world. Be sick. Yeah.
Yeah, and the only problem with the Dutch is if they were out celebrating in the race was had one in the Netherlands, it'd be really quiet, no atmosphere,
No one will turn up to watch it. Yeah. Jeez.
Nobody having a laugh and
That'd be
drinking
unbelievable.
and telling stories.
Especially having an Amsterdam event, it would be terrible.
Oh, heinous.
The only issue with doing an Amsterdam event, Bud, is that, some of these youngsters would be lost. They wouldn't turn up to the boat the next day. They'd have to have a lot of reserves.
Well, it might be the Dutch chance then, to get a good result.
speaking of just back to the ocean race a bit, have you been observing, or I get a kind of mixed messages from different people that either watch it, don't watch it, loses its luster, love it. Where you at with it?
Yeah, it's a little bit. I find it harder to follow this time. I do follow those because Rosalind is in and Annemieke. So we still got a few Dutch, but I think they're going around with 4 boats. It's a bit of a shame, to be honest. And I think in a way they say it's the new training grounds for the French Vendée Globe. It's a bit. Yeah, it lost its charms a bit, and it's definitely back in the Eben Embro days or the races like last race where it's super close. It definitely had more interest in it, so I think that hopefully next edition it comes back. It definitely needs a bit of change, I would say, but it's it's still an awesome event, and I think the boats are pretty cool, but it needs a bit more.
Do you have any desire to act? Do you have any desire to be sitting on one of those boats? Like, has Rosalind said to you, just the intensity of and the slamming and living inside the bloody coach house is something you want to do, or?
Nah, to be honest, I think as sailor you want to get wet, right? Feel the
elements.
Salt air in your face. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you get claustrophobic in there, mate.
You could.
Oh yeah.
I reckon you could.
Penis.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It kind of like an oven through the equator, and it looks a bit like a dog box, like you've been put in the kennel for 6 months,
Yeah. It's good you don't.
I feel a bit like that sometimes.
Dear. But are you, because the Mirapuri boat, is she doing some of the European legs or the 65?
No, they just pulled out actually, or they're doing a bit of a calibration. What do you call it? Recalibration thing together with Trifork.
Yeah.
So the boat is, or I'm not sure on what fashion it's going to go and do the next 2 legs, but I think the boat will be sailing. I'm not sure if it's on the Mirapuri or Trifork, but yeah, she'll be competing. So.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Right. So what are you doing mostly with yourself now, mate? Like, are you coaching?
Yeah, actually did a bit of coaching last week and a half in the Lasers and the Film Masters. So that's been, to be honest, quite nice to be back in that kind of scene and just seeing the guys trying to improve day in, day out, and trying to help them with some bit of knowledge and from back in my days, I guess. So now that's actually been real fun. But the majority of the time, just trying to do big boat sailing, and just trying to find money for the CLGP, I guess, and in the meantime do as much big boat sailing as I can. Just stay on the water and the occasional moth session in there. So I think that's for me. It's I love to be out on the water and just try and do that as much as possible, and try and earn a buck some money nowadays instead of just spending it on Olympic sailing.
I'd hate to imagine the amount of days you have been on the water in the last, say, 15 years or so, but it's obviously been quite a time. How do you go from a schooling and study point of view? Was that just kind of kick that down the road, worry about it later, or you've managed to keep something going through that time?
No, I basically finished it as soon as possible. I did a bachelor in sports management and business. So I kind of just ticked that off as soon as possible. I guess I got a bit of papers, or a bit of education. And then I guess after that is the sailing school.
Exactly.
Luckily I finished that off as soon as possible. Yeah, get it out of the way.
So what boats are you on at the moment? The big boats. What are you doing? What regattas and events are you at, mate?
Last year I did just a bunch of random stuff, just like one-offs, and just try and do as much different stuff, just see also what I like, kind of what circuits, classes, and I realized I guess it's Olympic sailor and maybe also a bit of a single-handed mindset, but I find I really enjoy the classes where you, as a tactician, quite often as an Olympic sailor, you get put in a tactician role.
Yep.
but I didn't like just sitting on the back of the boat. I rather sail like an Edgels or the M32s, where you're still involved in making the boat go fast, or at least involved in the boat handling, and still like feel like you're actually sailing instead of going like, hey, we're tacking, jibing, and trying to communicate as well as possible. So at the moment, doing a lot of M32 sailing.
Yep.
And so it's a bit of difference, bit of high performance side, but that helps again, hopefully for the SLGP.
Are you sailing the M32s in the States, or you doing that in?
Yeah, States and
Yep.
in the States and in Europe, and then we'll go a month or the next 2 legs in the ocean race. I'll do with Team Yayo, the Dutch campaign. So it'll be really awesome. I really like, to be honest, I really liked the offshore last year, just to, you're always trimming, steering, and making the boat go fast as well. So it's, still keeping a bit of that sailing side, I guess, to it. I really enjoyed it. So it's that sense.
Not dissimilar to a lot of our guests. You've sailed a shitload of boats. What's the coolest one you've sailed, you reckon?
Blazer.
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Big boats wise, Volvo 70, I think.
Yeah,
This
good
is
answer.
sheer power of it.
Yep.
I've only done 2 days on it, but I was like,
No.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They were a great boat.
You know better than it.
Here. Good answer.
Dude.
I got paid for that one.
Yep. Tick.
Ticked off.
Done. No karate.
Oh, perfect, man.
Okay, so what about because you did all your training, you did a lot of time in New Zealand. Are you going to try and do summers down there still? Is that part of your program, or are you're stuck in Europe from now on?
No, actually, Summer asked a Kiwi girl to marry me recently, so
I didn't know you were getting married.
Is
Congratulations!
this like an announcement, an international announcement?
Does Molly know?
I'm guessing we're probably not the
you
first.
already know.
Oh, that's cool, mate.
Oh, congratulations. She obviously she said yes, though, right?
Yeah, I said maybe. And then
Oh God! I saw a hesitation there. Went, I'm working on it.
You've done very well there, mate. She's a fantastic lass.
Yeah, no, she's good.
Yeah,
Good
congratulations, hey. Oh, a bit of inter-country breeding. I wonder. So, what will you end up? Do you think you guys? How does that work? For you got a Kiwi who's still in doing the Olympics, and she's still going for it, and you're a has-been just sitting on your ass in the Netherlands.
You old brick.
Yeah, mate. Like, to be honest, I was in Palma in a year, and it's like all the guys were still like, "Oh, what are you doing here? You're back sailing." It's like, nah, just the house husband, like cooking and cleaning,
doing the dishes and washing the clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and getting croissants in the morning, and so,
Taking the jinker down, ready for when they come back in. Yep, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Racer chaser.
Yeah, I like it.
So now it's, I guess, still in the sailing scene and Olympic sailing scene that way. But for the big boat sailing, I guess at least in the European summer, you need to be here, and she still needs to be here at least for another year leading up to the Olympics. So still be the endless summers like we've done in the last 10 years. What is kind of good, I guess. Never
Except
winter,
for COVID.
Yeah, true. That's a bit of a shocker.
I did hear about how hard it was being apart for 2 years there, mate. So I've heard that her side of it anyway.
Don't worry, Jordan's not as big a stalker as you're thinking he is right now.
I hope you know all this, mate.
Oh, well, we sat on a bus next to each other. No. So then if you're going to do some of the boat scenes, so obviously a lot of people in Oz and Kiwi land listen to this. So there's plenty of regattas down here. So there's probably a few people going, oh, maybe I could get him on board.
Absolutely. I'm there.
Yep. Okay.
I like it. Good.
Okay. There we go. There's a free plug. So we've got sailing legends.
We'll do some Heineken's when we're over there.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
BP's already gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be a couple of my boats here. They'll be looking for some people. No, it's all good.
Sweet.
Cool. What about when you look at the offshore races? So, we've talked about the ocean race was, one of your childhood dreams. What other races that are there that you really look forward to? Like what is it? Are you going to do the Fastnet, for example? Because that's coming up in a little bit of time. Are the Hobart, are those sorts of things that you want, or do you want to do like ocean crossings?
No, I think for me it's more like a nice mix. I think I really enjoy the inshore racing and just especially the one design inshore racing. Just intensity of that and just the close racing. So I think that's always going to be what I'll be aiming for as well, and rather do that a little bit more on the high performance side. And then I think that with the offshore sailing, I did last year the Middle Sea race, and I thought that was a really fun race. Just with so many corners and chill changes and just always being on your toes. Like just
what boat were you on for that one?
German team, Raphael. It's Elliott 52
Mm-hmm.
or Rafale. So that was pretty cool, and that gave me a good taste, at least for those kind of 600s. So I would love to do like Hobart, and I think the Caribbean sounds pretty fun as well. Caribbean 600. Again, a lot of sail change, a lot of legs, different legs, and that's. I think just a great, trying to find a good mix between offshore sailing and keeping the fun inshore, close racing side.
Yeah, well, I mean, the M32s are going pretty good at the moment. I think we had Lammy on just to talk. We were interested in doing a little bit on the 32s. Obviously, kind of a few pro circuits going, owner driver circuits, I think it is as well. So, and they've got the Worlds. When are the Worlds? I'm trying to remember. I've forgotten.
September.
In the lake.
On Lake Garda?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Lammy didn't know where exactly. You just said he'll be there.
I tell him where to be.
He listens. As long as he knows he's looked after. We all know Lammy very well, so we know that he just sort of gets told where to be the next day.
So I mean, that seems to be a pretty cool series, and they are a lot of fun, easy fun, I think, and so I think that's a good one to be involved in. Have you gone close to? What's the worst crash you've had in one of those, mate?
No, we've actually been pretty good so far. We have some reckless drivers. No. No, we actually, I must say, last year we broke, I think, 2 wrecks of other boats. So that was quite sort of entertaining. But
is that why you're sailing along and all of a sudden they break and you just fall in the water, or what's the deal there?
Well, we hit a leeward side wreck, so I guess the leeward side broke, so that was all safe, I guess. But
I'm just imagining you going along to windward and it just coming off, and you're just going, "See you later."
12 boats reaching mark, and somebody falls over. It's not fun.
No.
We actually had a good one, by the way.
Yeah.
It ended up with minor damage, but actually it was first event last year in M32, new team, and Ariane was on the boat as well that you interviewed, and it was pretty windy in Medemblik, and the bottom boat, we're kind of chasing 2 boats. It's kind of stuck in the middle of the 2, and one pitch pulls, deploys pitch pulls, comes to windward. The other one pitch pulls, comes to leeward. So it's like this funnel, and we just go straight in. It's like went pretty bad.
A vortex of M32s.
I love it. I love it. And I mean, I love that sort of stuff because sailing, it's carnage at times. And I don't think normal people realize just how much carnage you can create on a sailing course. I was just looking, did you watch that video of the TP52 top mark where that heap of tide was running and did you see that one where they all got rafted up? Oh.
Yeah, and the RC44 is pretty prone to it. Yeah.
Was that the RC? Was it?
No, that was the RCs.
It was the RCs. Sorry, it was.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all end up, and then the guy goes around the outside. Does
around the outside.
The girls and comes in dead motherless and ends out the first.
So what's the immediate future, Nick? What are you doing next week? What are you doing in a month's time?
I guess Well, Ocean Race is coming up.
Yeah.
European leg. So we're starting the 2nd of June in Aarhus, or with a bit of training and then import races. So till then, a little bit of coaching. And but yeah, the Ocean Race whole of month of June. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't really trained with the team, so
Right.
no idea how that's going to go. But it's that will be entertaining.
Who's the team made up of, actually? Obviously, quite a few Dutchies, I'm thinking.
Yeah, a lot of Dutchies, a lot of the Team Heiner talent. I think we got 4 of them on board, so that's pretty awesome. And then got a Danish, Martin, the 49er gold medalist from, in Beijing. So he's on the boat. Who else?
Who gets to be who gets to be tactician in that situation?
Well, not Marty, because he's only got one eye.
Yeah.
But, of which we got a story about that when it was rolling around in the bilge of Team Sanya. But
What, Marty or the eye?
No, his eye. His eye had popped out. So just remind him about that. So what do we got? Aarhus, a flyby in Kiel, then the Hague, and then finish in the Med, Genoa.
Yeah.
Could take you about
Hopefully
8 weeks, that last leg.
Well,
there's no wind.
Last, 1,000 miles, yeah. Drift off into Genoa.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, now hopefully we get a nice frontal system or some sort of Mistral.
But the Hague, obviously, that's your home waters at the moment, right? So, is there quite the hype for the race coming to town? Or
to be honest, haven't seen much. The first flags are starting to pop up here and there, but it's, I guess we're still a month away from finishing here. So, it's not. To be honest, I would have loved to see a bit more hype already, but it will come. And,
you'll turn it on.
North Sea race. North Sea we got it going on right now, so there's a bit of hype of that. And SB20 Worlds are coming to town, and we got the Ocean Race coming to town as well, and then we got the World Championships. So there's a busy summer here, so it's pretty
plenty
cool.
on. Yeah,
plenty on.
Nick, all the places you've been, like, where's your favorite place to go for a sail?
Actually, Nelson, New Zealand.
Oh,
Yeah.
why is that?
Nelson.
It's the top of the South Island.
Yep.
In New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
Now we had one event there in the Laser Nationals, Kiwi Nationals, and we had just some amazing conditions down there. So that was one of good memories from sailing down there. And to be honest, we just did a moth event in Queenstown, New Zealand, and that was pretty special.
Oh wow!
Like,
that would have been cool.
And it's awesome, but to sail in Queenstown was that was pretty special as well. So unfortunately, a bit of the white cloud favoritism there.
Well, and you know where your bread's buttered, of course. You can only mention the Kiwis.
I need to keep them happy, eh?
That's right, exactly.
Actually, yeah, okay. So we're talking Sail GP before. Like, go on. Who were you supporting through the year? Huh?
Can't tell.
Top secret.
Nah,
I'm a supporter of the event. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's too soft. So not the Aussies I just heard. Is that right?
Yeah, not the Aussies. I mean, that went too much. Go on, Slinger. Back it down a little bit.
Back it off 20%, Slingers.
Yeah. It's pretty cool because I got a bunch of mates from different teams. So it's, I mean, I love the French in a way, like, especially
the battlers.
and I think it's really cool that they trying to really incorporate the girls into like one of the key positions.
Yep.
And then, I must say the Swiss with Jason, and so it's a bunch of mates on different boats that you kind of support, and so no favoritism yet, but we're waiting for the Dutch or for some orange shirts up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Remember the orange party at the Olympics in 2000 in Australia? This is for you, Jordan.
Yeah.
I can imagine that orange tent just flying, going around the world, following the Sail GP.
Mm.
Just everyone in. Oh, it'd be huge.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
we need a Holland Heineken, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once we get the Barcarati barge out there, we could pair up with the Dutchies. We just have
Painted
the
orange, you reckon?
painted orange, get the Dutchies on board. Well, it'll be fun.
Get some green and gold.
Yeah, John will have his floating clog flying around. He might put it on foils.
That would be the funniest.
For the poor listeners,
It's still floating, I tell you.
it's still going. There's a floating clog that's done up at sailing as a sailing boat, and you know, I was just trying to think. It's what's it, about 14 foot, and it comes to all the ocean race ports and
Well, it did do. And I'd say she's probably going to get a feature out in Scheveningen at this time of year with all the activity about to come out.
Sure.
And Johnny will be waving the flag.
Aren't we looking forward to that?
yeah. Oh dear. Cool.
It's the fastest clog on the water, I can tell you that.
Fastest clog in the world.
So what about
Most powerful clog.
with the Dutch sailors? Obviously, you've got some pretty good programs going on there. You know, with all the development stuff. So doing a lot of offshore development, because that is the big passion for the Dutch. But then also, you know, you've produced some of the great sailors at Olympic level as well. What's it looking like? You know, you're doing a little bit of coaching. You're looking back through that team you've got. Is there much coming out of the Netherlands at the moment?
Oh yeah, I think they're still doing really well. It's of course like still got Marit. Bloody legend.
Absolutely.
She's still going hard. It's got a younger group pushing her hard. So she will definitely be up there again. I think trying to go for a fourth Olympic medal. So and then Kieran Bedlu, and he's getting chased by two, or actually he's trailing two other Dutch windsurfers. So windsurfers is always going to be strong.
Yeah.
The radials are going to be strong. Hopefully the standard boys are going to give another good nudge and get to the top. And I guess the 49ers always, they've been pretty strong in the recent years. And now with especially the girls and guys, double world champion. It's, a lot of hope, I would say, for Olympic sailing still. So that's good.
It's always a strong country, isn't it? It's always a strong country.
Yeah. Nah, it gets funded pretty well, or at least it's all the facilities are there, and it's a pretty good system. And you see that in offshore sailing as well. It's a lot of, I guess, all the money in Dutch sailing goes to offshore sailing. It would be nice to see sometimes a bit more owners and good teams going into the inshore racing as well. But it's it's kind of had that legacy, I guess, between Olympic sailing and the offshore sailing. But
yeah, I'm interested, mate, you know, being a fin sailor, you know, like the bigger guys in the Olympic world. We've seen Jake Lilly, the Australian fin sailor, has stepped across to the IQ foil, you know, because the IQ foil, the bigger you are, the faster you go on those things. You know, and the Dutch are pretty good windsurfers.
Yeah, you getting back to a hungy?
Going back up,
God, no.
adding a bit of weight.
Been there, done that.
No, so
to be honest, I was in the year I was out with the kite surfers, and I was like, that would be actually pretty cool. But then I'm not sure I've got a bigger pair of balls or balls are big enough with that. Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
they belong to someone else now.
Board.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, but I'm interested. I wonder how many fin transplants we'll get, you know, into that IQ foil. I'm really
Fin
interested.
transplants.
Yeah.
Ball transplants or fins?
Yeah. But I mean, the other thing is, of course, you can sail the moth at a fairly decent size as well. So, I mean, so you can transfer across. But as you say, the fin is still pretty strong. There's a rumor going around that they could be doing the Worlds or the Gold Cup, the Silver Cup, and the Masters in Australia. The rumor.
Yeah,
they're pitching for it. I know that for a fact.
I heard that rumor. It'll be good.
Rumor
Yeah.
or fact? Here we go.
Might need to
Heard
make my
it first.
comeback then.
Well, I know they're pitching for it. It hasn't been awarded yet. Is all I'll say.
Oh,
So,
there we go. Cool.
and I know
I
exactly
think
where it'll be.
if that's the case, you guys should all get into it. It's
What,
free
in the
beer
Finn?
after racing, so.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was trying to explain to these boys up in Queensland. I think they do it in the rest of the Finn. What they do here when they have state champs is you do your 3 races in the morning, and then they have a long lunch all afternoon, and that happens both days. So that's how to do a regatta, if you ask me.
Mate, that's you've taught me into it.
Yeah, and you've
I
been
might-
putting the weight on for it too, boss.
Yeah,
just rock- I might just rock
been
up for the
I've been
lunches.
preparing for a couple of years now. As a matter of fact,
But
training
it's just-
both on and off the water.
BP's just coming up for the lunches.
No, I'll just be there for the lunches.
Cool.
Cool.
Good.
All right, man. I think we're sort of coming near our time. So were you're definitely down in the Southern Hemisphere this summer? Is that can we say that if people are listening and want a bit of want to catch up with you, mate, and take you out for a yacht?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be down there. It's,
Yep, 100%.
100%.
Good.
Hopefully, New Zealand turns up the weather a bit more than last summer. But hey, now we'll be down.
Yeah. Okay.
Righto. Well, your name's on the list for getting on one of my little boats. So that'll be a trip up to Russell though, which is not too bad.
Yeah.
not
X
too bad.
to it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Bit of motorbike yachting.
Yeah. You'll have a ball, mate. And you're on our list for having a few beers for a catch up.
It's a deal.
Right.
Only a
Oh.
Heineken though.
Awesome, Nick. Thanks
We should
for
get
taking
him
the
this-
time, mate.
Yeah, mate. Good to catch.
Yeah.
Too good. Thanks,
Good on you,
guys.
man.
It's been
Cheers.
awesome.
See ya. Always good, the Dutchies.
Always.
Love
We
a
get a lot
Dutchie.
of them on,
And-
don't we?
Well, and prior to the show, I'm trying to remember when, I saw Nick 0405 probably,
Yep.
as I was saying. And he was just a wee little fella back then.
Mm,
Look at him now, just all grown up,
All
like got
grown up.
Olympic medals and stuff.
yeah.
You know,
well,
just walking in his father's footsteps a little bit, so to speak.
yeah. Mm.
So, but one thing we didn't bring up, Jordan,
Oh.
is one, we did bring it up, your love for the Dutch, but you left off one little bit.
Yeah.
Your love for the Dutch stroopwafel,
The
right?
stroop waffle. Yeah. Love it.
What did you find out? What did you find out off air?
And then, and for the listener, like we actually get some of the best stuff when we turn the
The recording.
cameras and the record off. But Nick was saying, they're out in the coach boats watching some other teams, and all they're doing in the coach boats just slamming stroopwafels.
Stroop waffles. There.
So if anyone knows what a stroopwafel is, and
Yeah.
if you're slamming a couple of them a day, you're getting into a fin before you know it.
Yeah. Well, especially because he said they've got the stroop waffle.
McFlurry
McFlurry.
stroopwafel.
At Macca's,
Oh,
go down to Macca's and get a straight
Mate, I know where we're going for breakfast next time you're here, old mate.
McFlurry stroop waffle. I'm on a plane tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, Emirates. Amsterdam, please. When you're flying home. Oh, no, I'll just get the same flight home. I just need to go get a
Straight
McFlurry.
back on.
here. By the time you've cleaned it, I'm back on.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Drip,
Oh.
waffle, McFlurry dripping out of your mouth.
No, but obviously successful. In more ways than one. The Netherlands, always been up there. Olympics. They love the offshore, and I'm sure the stopover coming up is going to be massive again. Like they're just fully behind it, especially with the history of the race as well. So yeah, everyone get down there to the Hague. And have as good a time as we did last time we were there, Jordan.
What's on tour stays on tour.
Yeah.
At one stage, I started to sober up because I thought, oh, Bossie's not going to sober up. I need to watch him here.
And you know that theory about, stealing not stealing, just those black bikes are there for everyone.
Yes.
You can just jump on one. Yeah. No, apparently not.
Oh, dear. We do have a good time. Cool.
Yeah.
Other events, other news, club events. I've got a genuine club event, and I bought this one I wanted for our overseas listeners just to get a taste of what life is like in Oz.
Or what the names of places are like in
Yeah,
Oz.
just the names of places. Is your mic down a bit, BP?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Well, that's better. That was better. But so May 27 and
There you go.
20,
What's
May
that?
27 and 28, the Humpy Bong Yacht Club Women's and Girls Regatta at Humpy Bong in Woody Point in Queensland. So Humpy Bong Yacht Club got a Women's and Girls Regatta. And yes, that is a genuine name of a suburb in Australia, Humpy Bong. Yes, go for all your jokes now. Yes. But
Yep. Well, it's on
Mhm.
it's on Hornybrook Esplanade. Woody Point.
well, I love it.
Beauty.
It is
That
cool.
will
But
be
anyway,
that where it
for the women and all the females out there, that Humpy Bong, it is a big grassy area, plenty of grass to launch from.
Oh,
Good for
really?
dinghies. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, other type of grass. Okay. Got it.
Oh, yeah,
But
the
it is
Humpy
true.
Bong.
It is true. The names of places. It reminds me of that little sketch we had on a couple of weeks ago with Jean-Claude Strong when they said where she was from in the Etchells.
Yeah, well, like we said, we're
Still
not
funny.
going to chuck glass. What do you call it? Chuck stones in glass houses.
That's it.
So-
Exactly right. Oh dear.
funny.
Jack Lloyd, listener of the week.
Yeah, I got something.
Have you? Go for it, BP.
I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it?
Are you talking about the message from Paul Van Bellen?
You
that
got
one?
him.
Yeah,
He's late, but he's in.
yeah. It's a good one. That one.
because we've had a bit of a busy week with everyone else, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he just
Sorry,
Bicey
Paul
got something to
Van.
say.
This isn't a made-up name, by the way.
No, and it's a good Dutch name, isn't it?
Paul Van
Bellen.
Belland.
Bellen.
No,
Paul
Belland.
Van Bellen.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, just listen to your podcast for the first time. It was with Bjorn Dunkerbeck. Nice choice. You guys did a great job interviewing him. Very keen windsurfer, and it has been hard in the past to get a candid conversation with the Terminator. And you guys did it. He mentioned in the podcast about the Fiji event that he's going to. I'm actually doing some of the filming at that event and highly anticipated by windsurfers around the world. There's going to be some effort to put on a live stream. This is what we're trying to get to.
Good.
So maybe if you guys could give a little bit of promo for the event, consider it done. So
Here, Paul, just keep us up to date on which socials to follow, but we'll be sure to get it up there, get it out there.
He's offered to do a
Absolutely.
few crosses as well if we want.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So cool. Nice one to Paul. Yeah, welcome. And thanks
Maybe
for
we
joining.
could send the merch pack to Fiji.
Well, that's it.
He probably doesn't
I
know
might-
that merch packs never turn up. He'll
Oh.
take you
Well,
seriously.
this one
May or
might.
may not
I
arrive.
might hand deliver it.
Oh, hand deliver it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, dear. I love it. Cool. Any other nominees or nothing else was no one else is good
No.
enough?
I think Paul Van Bellen's won it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We need everyone to step up their game. But all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
a bit of an average week. Listeners, very average week.
It's hot time with Bice.
Well, I'll tell you what wasn't hot time. She was
Mm.
cold time in Newport, Rhode Island, as part of the ocean race. We're recording on a Sunday Arvo Aussie time. So
they're starting in a few hours.
inshore race was meant to be our time this morning. Safety is, of course, number one concern. But yeah, no, it looked absolutely Heinery.
Beanery. Look up that word in the dictionary.
Yeah. In Newport, Rhode Island. And they've postponed it, and they're going to include it as part of the offshore leg start. So whether that means doing 2 laps instead of 1 or 3 instead of 2,
they've got
not
the
sure.
courses up on their page. It's that course that we normally do in Newport. It's pretty much the same standard course. And I'm just trying to pull it up for people so I can show it, or explain it. But on the import spice, normally a few VIP guests get to go and do the race. I wonder if they're going to get to go on and they'll just be going across to Aarhus.
Yeah, might just the whole way, can't get out.
Can't get off.
Once you're stuck in the cockpit, you can't get out.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if there's like some sort of cannon that the guest gets shot out the back with. Maybe.
But anyway, yeah. So they'll be starting in as we're recording. It's just under 12 hours, so they're not far from getting underway. Have you guys checked the weather to see if there's anything exciting?
Negative.
Negatory.
Negatory.
I'll have a quick squiz. Go and try and pull something up while we're doing
While
it.
you're pulling that up, we
Yep.
see the crews have been announced, of course, for the league start, and notably we've got Charlie Darlin joining 11th hour. So, and it's a double pointer, right? This leg.
Is it?
It's
an ocean crossing, so
yeah. So, but this is kind of your last big part, as spoken about when we're speaking with Nick. Like, so they get to Aarhus, they do the flyby to Kiel, they go to The Hague, and then potential for another bit of Heinery maybe in the Bay of Biscay, but then they got to go back into the Med and make their way to the finish in Genoa.
yeah.
So,
They're out into plenty. Well, it's nice when they start, but they're going to just miss it. I think they'll probably the system's going to punch up and away, but they will be able to get into a nice stream that's going to run in exactly the right direction for the Gulf Stream, and so we might get some pretty quick times. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
you'd
yes,
imagine if they get it right, it's going to be some big mileage days. Not forgetting it was the Volvo 65s this particular leg that they got the record. So
yeah. So that condition or that system that probably cancelled the racing a bit, moving out. So they're going to be on the back of that, and they need to go fast because there'll be a ridge following it that could slow them up. So they need to motor. Will be the best way to describe it. You mentioned Charlie Dallin, Bice. I'm calling this the three Charlies.
the three C's.
The three C's. It's the three Charlies because apart from Charlie Dallin, who of course is two-time AMOCA world champion, who is joining 11th hour, and it is a double point leg, exactly as you said. Just made sure of that whilst off there. Charles Cordrelier. Ooh.
Yes.
So he's. He won the last edition of the Ocean Race during the Chinese entry, and he's got the Gitana team. He's got the old team. The old team.
Yes, the old team. Hungy or about 200 feet now, probly.
Just won the
just grows.
Yeah, just won the Route de Rome on that. On the Maxi Edmond de Rothschild, the Maxime. The
big
old
year.
team.
The big year.
The big year on the old team. Anyway,
yeah.
And then Abby and Sam back on as well. So fairly formidable
talking wholesome,
team.
of
New
course.
mast.
Wholesome. Yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's
saw
the
a
double
picture of the
Charlies.
boat. They had the stick in. They'll be ready to go. Or they bribed the race officials to not have the inshore race. Just for a bit of fine tuning, shall we say?
What's the third Charlie?
No, that was a week ago when they got to town.
The Ocean Race have just signed Charles Heidsick, the official champagne of the Ocean Race.
Very good.
They just signed it. It was all Charlies. So, which is one of the grand marks of the champagne houses based in the Rem region of Champagne, best known producers of vintage and non-vintage cuvee. Free plug for you there, Mr.
There you
Champagne
go.
producer.
Mr. Champagne, Mr. Charlie, what's his name?
Heidsick. Anyway,
I love
so
that
three
champagne.
Charlies for the Ocean Race. It's interesting.
Three Charlies. Very good. Okay.
What else, Vice?
So from that, just a bit of a replay there. That obviously Holson back on the start line as we just mentioned, and Team Europe being shipped to Europe from Halifax.
Yep.
And having been met actually AIMA Sports 2 in Halifax after they dropped their rig.
Yep.
Fair chance they might have had a bit of a good time as well.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I got to tell you, we got to get a Canadian on. Boys, I've been spamming you because I found No, well, because I found that show called
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah,
God. Is that, and you know, I'm loving it. Like, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why you got.
I'm trying
that's
to
why
put
you
my
got your
kids to-
lumberjack hat on.
I'm trying to put my kids to sleep and I'm watching it out this my headphones in,
Oh,
laughing my
how
head
you
off.
going,
What are you
mate? How
laughing
you-
at, Dad? What are you
How
laughing
you
at?
finding it? It's hilarious, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. Love it.
it's-
good.
anyway, so we got to get a Canadian on and do all the Canadianisms that they've got. But geez, that's a funny show.
Yeah, the
Congratulations.
Canadians. Love it.
The
Canadian.
lad behind
Northern
the,
Australians.
the people behind that.
Why would
take
you want to wear a
bow.
belt? Why would you want a belt?
And
Sounds like I've
look,
converted-
Buy a pair of jeans for $60 and
Okay.
$30 for a belt.
finally, boys,
yes.
on a somber note,
Absolutely.
this week, possibly one of the more famous yachties in the world has left us 8 bells, Buddy Melgers. I don't think there's many people you'd speak to that, one, don't know the name, and two, of that generation know how good he was and the way he conducted himself on the race course, off the race course, and the amount of people that look up to him. Big loss for the yachting world, Buddy
Yeah.
Melgers.
It was all over
RIP.
all the yachting ages. So for those who don't know, so he was an Olympic gold medalist in the sailing in 72. He won a bronze in the Flying Dutchman in 64. He won the Star Worlds in 78, 79. He won the 5.5 meter world champs 3 times, 67, 73, 83. 5-time E-Scow national champion, which are those crazy boats we've got to get a go on, 65, 69, 78, 79, 83. And 7-time Skeeter ice boat world champion. 1955, 57, 70, 72, 74, 80, and 81. How cool is that? And 3-time Yachtsman of the Year. And also won the America's Cup, defended the America's Cup. So quite a record. Obviously, he's been inducted into the America's Cup Hall of Fame. He obviously there are plenty of there is the whole Melgers family and the Melgers type boats and brands. So they're definitely a big part of it. So yeah.
Yep. Not only from an American point of view, but global. What a legend.
Anything else from you, boss?
No, all clear.
I thought I'd bring up that obviously the 50th edition of the Fastnet is this year. They run it every 2 years. It's 22nd of July, so we're not that far away, and the build-up's starting to happen again.
X2 BP. Ooh, etsy getsy.
Oh,
Hey,
could be good.
got
Could
a
be
couple
good.
there.
Potentially.
For those
Working on
the Sunrise is the defending champ. Of course, we've had some of the team from Sunrise on board on the show, chatting about the after their win last time around. Again, finishing in France in Cherbourg. So yeah, I'm just getting a bit fired up because that's the next major. That's the big one.
Yep.
Yep. Definitely wanted to give a heads up to that we're into it. And of course, I know the organisers, the RORC, have been thinking about flying us over and hosting some of the commentary and hosting events.
We're just looking at anchors at the moment to put the barge at Fastnet Rock. I was actually just going to do a quick half itch around the rock.
By then, it should be
All
painted
good.
orange.
There is they just announced, speaking of Fastnet, the Plymouth Fastnet 500, which is, I think they did their first one last year. They've made that ongoing now. That's a new race that's going to be ongoing. So the second edition goes 13th of August, 23. I just thought so that's from the Royal Western Yacht Club and around the Fastnet Rock. That one, lots of people doing laps. I should have put that in club events at this stage. It's still growing. The other one that's going on at the moment is the 68.
The Maxis.
Regatta. Yeah, Regatta Tre Golfi. It just finished. In Napoli.
Napoli, out of Napoli. So sailing in the Gulf of Capri, I believe it is.
Yep. That's it.
And it's looked actually, one would imagine, if you're going to such a location, sun's out, enjoying it. All the footage I've seen, pissing with rain, freezing cold.
Well, this is true.
Thanks climate change.
With the closing of the Formula One Grand Prix this year in Italy, it did cop it.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it did. You're right, BP. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that jump online if you want to check the results for that. The other one that was on, of course, was the Club Swan Regattas.
Yes.
Yes.
Going from strength to strength. Those guys just having a great time, aren't they?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they're doing good. So in Sardinia, fantastic. And they had plenty on. There was plenty of wind. I think the first day was blown out, and I think the last day was blown out. And so racing in the Club Swan 50, the Club Swan 42, and the Club Swan 36. So all one design racing. So it's a dream. It's a dream come true. Plenty on. Some good racing across the classes. The first day, a press release we got sent through. This is a bit grown up too, having press releases. We've never signed up to get any press releases, but they all turning up in our email. It's good. Well done to all the PR people.
They obviously haven't listened.
Yeah. But on day one, day one when it was blown out, they were talking about how everyone went foil boarding, winging.
Oh, yeah, wing dinging. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, is Swan bringing out a wing ding?
Oh, 1K design.
Wing ding. Very expensive.
Expensive, very expensive.
It's got a bloody
expensive
nice
thing.
cove stripe down the side, though.
Oh, yeah, with a little arrow at the front.
Yeah.
Bit of teak deck.
Teak on
That's a
top.
good idea. Yeah.
Well, it is. It
Actually,
is.
I might do that, yeah.
Teak deck. Swan.
Seeing I haven't even got mine wet yet, but anyway.
I don't even have one.
The good thing though, like if you are a Swan owner and you're buying into this, you are getting a full program, and it would be awesome because it just keeps rolling. So the Nations Trophy, the next event is the Nations Trophy again in Sardinia, 20 to 24 June. So it just continues on. Yeah, non-stop.
Be a good tour, wouldn't it, to be on?
Yeah. Into Spain in July for Copa del Rey, Mallorca.
Dip my toe in the water.
Yeah. It's non-stop. So July, September, October. The Swan One Design Worlds in Tuscany. So we're into it. Good for them. They got plenty of good sponsors. If any of those sponsors want to start sponsoring Baccarati, we'll take it.
We'll certainly take it on board. We might even read some press releases.
We'll give it a go.
I love it.
They would have stopped listening by now anyway. But yeah.
Cool.
No, here.
Righto.
Anything else, boys?
Nice, boys.
Hungry?
No. Shut her down.
Shut it down.
By the way, where are you recording from, Jordan Spencer?
A reprieve. So I was supposed to have no power today. The whole street was shut down, but they delayed it till tonight. But I was going to be recording.
Did you tell him that? No.
Yeah,
Whoa! Woo the camel up. We got a Baccarati recording going.
I was gonna record it from the bride's optometry. Is where I was going to go over to. Yeah. I was going to be surrounded by glasses and looking pretty pro. But yeah, I'm at home, so I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
Bravo. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, team.
Okay.
Good, best of luck for the next couple of days, BP over
Thank
there.
you.
We look forward to seeing some good stuff come out.
We're looking
Maybe
forward to it myself.
tap into some of our friends over there to get some footage over to us.
Well, we'll see how.
Yeah,
it
you
goes,
need that. I mean, they're such a cool little boat, BP. A bit more footage than those things would be good.
Working on it.
Good man. Good man. Did you take your guitar to New Zealand?
Yeah, actually, I'll just get it. It's in the closet. Hang on, here you go.
Bit like yourself, mate.
Oh, jeez. I am actually. I'm in my little room here in the crew
Doors
house.
about to open.
Oh yeah. So got some hunger on. Righto. Shut it down.
All right, everyone. Good luck, BP.
boys.
Thanks for joining us.
See you lads.
Nothing in front but a picture black at night.